Tell me something that people get wrong about you the most.
It's a long list.
Let's start by talking football. What does football mean to you?
I mean, from a little kid, it's kind of all I knew. In school, I wasn't the brightest kid, and I just loved playing football.
What's your earliest memory of playing?
Um,
Is this tough to answer because it was such a big part of your kind of childhood and growing up?
no, just because my memory's so bad. No, my earliest memory was probably, I don't know, going to watch my brother play. He's 2 years older than me, and he used to play as well.
It was big in your household, wasn't it? Because your dad was so heavily involved. He's a football coach too, isn't he? Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so there was 3 of us growing up. It was all football mad, and he obviously was a coach as well, and we used to train a lot with him.
Do you remember a lot of those sessions? Because I read as young as the age of 4, you were outside and he was doing drills with you in the back garden.
Yeah, I remember the drill started young. Thankfully they paid off for me and my sister.
Talk to me about your first ever team that you played for as a youngster. What was it called and what can you remember of it?
I don't remember much, to be honest. I think I was there for maybe 1 year. It was Kew Park Rangers in Kew, and yeah, that was where I got scouted for Chelsea.
And you weren't a defender at first, were you? Talk to me about your positional journey and how that changed.
Yeah, no, I started off as a striker, eventually moved to the wing, left wing, right wing, and eventually to midfield, and then eventually at right back, which I probably moved there like 14, 15, and I hated it at the time.
Why did you hate it?
Because I always wanted to play midfield. You didn't touch the ball as much, and then one day it just clicked, and been a right back since.
You said you started as a forward. Who was your idol?
Mine was Drogba. I was a Chelsea fan growing up, and he was the player I looked up to.
Can you think at any point in your career if there's been a turning point, a moment that has kind of shaped you and the player that you've become?
I'd probably say going on loan, bridging the gap between academy football and first team football, I think is the hardest, and that's probably what most players, making the jump find challenging.
You're talking, of course, about your time at Wigan. Why was Wigan the right club for you at the time? Because it was absolutely miles from everything you knew back here in London, and just why did it work so well for you?
No, I think the first thing is I played week in, week out. That obviously helps. I gained a lot of experiences. I moved away from my friends and my family, and I had to grow up fast. And just probably playing on a consistent basis helped a lot.
When you look back, who's had the biggest impact on your career?
I would say Thiago Silva.
Really? In what way? What's he done for you?
Well, I mean, he's nearly old enough to be my dad. He's played the game at the highest level for so long. And he always tried to, help me from the minute he arrived to still even now, even though he's not here.
In what way? What kind of things he would do? Was it messages off the pitch, on the training pitch, during games?
I mean, little messages off the pitch. On the pitch, he would, sometimes see things that I saw differently, and try and paint a different picture.
Must have been nice seeing him this summer.
Yeah, no, it was great to see him again. I'm happy. His team, they done well in the tournament as well, and it's always good to see him.
Of course, you've played some huge matches already in your career. What you've achieved is remarkable, but if you could go back and replay one match, what would it be? That's tough.
What, is the outcome going to be the same?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's tough because you've won a fair few trophies already.
It will be Champions League.
What was so special about that night, other than winning it, of course?
Not many people probably expected us to win. City were favourites that day. And just the way the game went, 1-0. In the final, they had chances, but they, didn't take them. The biggest trophy in club football. And
I guess, looking at what you did in the summer as well, with the Club World Cup, it was a similar situation in terms of lots of people were talking about PSG, the way you won that game as well.
Yeah, that's another final. We were underdogs, but no, we all believed and we all knew we was good enough, to come out on top. And I think we showed that in the game and, the result.
Let's talk a little bit more about Reece, the person away from the pitch then. Take me back into the James household growing up. When you were younger, what was it like? What was a typical day for you and your siblings?
Well, a typical day, we'd wake up and go to school. We'd just come home, and then the minute we would get home from school, we would either be kicking a ball around on the street until, one of us had to go training. And then, whoever was training, the other one would be kicking a ball around on the side watching. And yeah, it was pretty much like that for most of my childhood, you know, always with a ball at my feet.
So it was you, your mum and your dad, and then you've got another brother,
Yeah.
and then of course you've got your sister Lauren, who we haven't yet spoken about. Talk to me about what it was like growing up with her, because it was probably pretty evident from early on just how talented she was too.
Yeah, I mean, when she was so young, I didn't understand how good she was because I didn't see so many girls playing. You know, she always played with me and with boys, and she was better than most of them, to be fair. But no, she's come on leaps and bounds, you know, in her career, and she's, you know, doing amazing things.
I read stories about how she was kind of training with the Arsenal women's team, and then she was moved to the Arsenal Boys Academy as well. And I thought it was interesting when she talked about the fact that she kind of didn't really think about being any different. She didn't really think about the fact that she was a girl. I guess that was something that playing with you and your brother must have really helped her with. She was just a footballer.
Yeah, no, she was always playing with the both of us, and that probably, you know, helped her with, you know, her technical ability and physicality now.
What's your relationship like with her now?
No, it's good. You know, we live a similar life. You know, we're playing football at, you know, the highest level, but, you know, sometimes our schedules are not aligned, so sometimes we miss each other's games and stuff, but, you know, we're close.
Do you speak a lot and do you see each other a lot?
Well, I'm always travelling, she's always travelling, everyone's always on the go.
It's a lot more WhatsApp, I bet.
Yeah, we speak a lot, yeah.
What does a typical day off look like for you? If you're having a day away from football, what do you like to do?
If it's in pre-season, I'm not leaving my house because I'm tired. I'd literally be in bed all day, and if it's in season, I don't know, I'd probably go into London with my friends maybe, see what they're up to.
How do you escape from it? Because football's so intense, you must have something that you like to do to just switch off.
No, I mean, when I get home, I just try not to, you know, think too much and, you know, overthink and just take things in my stride.
Fashion's quite a big thing for you as well, isn't it? You're quite into that. You like a fashion show?
I like a fashion show, yeah. Depending on the time of year.
Yeah, not midway through the busy football season.
But no, fashion is, yeah, it's good. It's something I'm interested in and enjoy.
How would you describe your fashion sense?
Now it's a lot more chilled. A few years ago it was a bit more edgy.
Is that just maturing, do you think, growing up?
Maybe boredom.
How would your friends describe you? You come across to us as like super chilled and super laid back and kind of take everything in your stride. Would they say the same?
Most of the time, yeah, but I have a sharper side as well.
In what way?
I don't know, not everything goes my way. Sometimes, you know, I'm not in the mood and stuff, and they get to see that more than other people.
Has your personality changed as you've got older and you've gone through your career and everything you've gone through?
Yeah, I think it's changed a lot. You know, I've had a lot of disappointment, a lot of setbacks, and that kind of, you know, changes the way you think and the way you know, view things.
And do you think becoming a captain as well has changed you at all?
Yeah, I think it benefited me. It's, you know, helped me, you know, grow as a person. You know, I need to, you know, help, you know, the younger teammates in my team and lift them and, you know, try and improve them as players and as people.
I asked you how your friends would describe you. How would your teammates describe you?
Why don't we pull one of them in? I think that would be slightly easier. No, they'll probably sound chilled as well.
But I bet you're not chilled on the pitch. I've watched you play. It seems like there's a very different Reece James sitting here to Reece James, the captain.
Yeah, on the pitch, I'm not sure what happens. Just and it's like all or nothing on the pitch, and off the pitch, it's like whatever happens, happens.
I also wanted to mention your friendship with Lewis Hamilton, because he posted congratulations to you, and it was a congratulations message that wasn't just sent from someone observing, it was from someone that clearly knows you. Talk to me about that relationship that you've got with him, two elite sports people that obviously appreciate each other's game and know each other well.
Yeah, we're reasonably close. You know, he's probably the greatest F1 driver to have lived. I know we play different sports, but, you know, there's many similarities and crossovers, and, you know, he tries to help me where I can, you know, when I'm going through difficult spells, because, you know, he's been at a higher level longer, and, you know, he's been through more. So
how did you get to know each other?
Through a mutual friend, and yeah, we've kind of been in contact since.
What are you most proud of?
Probably the trophies I've won for the club.
Any one in particular, or just the fact that you've won so many consistently?
Yeah, I wouldn't. They all play a huge part together.
Tell me something that people get wrong about you the most.
It's a long list.
What's top of it?
What did they get wrong about me? I don't know. To be honest, a lot of people say a lot of stuff. Everyone has their opinion, but it doesn't really bother me. So I don't know. If I see anything, I'm not really paying attention anyway.
And if you could only achieve one more thing for the rest of your career, what would it be?
To win the World Cup.
Good one to end on. Perfect, thank you.
Thanks.